guys obviously coming out of the regionals can get by if you have to win, several games in a row facing elimination. But 80% of the teams that win super regionals win game one. How important do you guys feel like this game is going to be on tomorrow?
Honestly, I mean, every game's important at this point. The goal is to win tomorrow. If we lose, then we're going to get up and play again the next day. And I think that's what helped us get through out of the losers bracket in the regionals is even though we had a tough game against VCU, had a shot, and we didn't get it done, and then came back the next day, knew what we had to do, but put all our focus on the first game because without winning the first game, there was no second game. Just put importance where our feet are, being in the moment and getting the job done in that moment.
Vance, what did you notice? What have you learned about Arkansas the last couple of days, and what did you notice about the way they were able to get through that regional out at Oklahoma State?
I noticed a lot of high-scoring games in that regional, a lot of home runs, but we've just kind of put our focus on the pitcher for tomorrow, and we know he has a good breaking ball. Does a lot of it, so just working on seeing things up and just trying to stay calm in the box. Focus on your routine. If we do that, we think we'll be successful.
You mentioned the high-scoring games, kind of knowing we put up 44 runs, I think, in that regional. Does that put a little bit more pressure on your offense to help your pitchers out and not kind of get them in trouble?
I don't think so. It's a different weekend for sure. It doesn't matter if they were hot or we were hot last weekend. It's a whole new weekend, whole new game. So we're just gonna have the same game plan, go out there and attack.
Hey guys, I'm Bob with the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Hey, for both of you, Vance, you can take it first. You guys are 33-7 here. Just how comfortable, how good are you guys at this ballpark? How tough are you to beat here, do you think?
Yeah, definitely very tough. It's a special place. The Bosch Magic's real, and like you said, 33-7. That's a good record at home, and we get to play at home, so it's always important.
Mikey, you want to take that too?
Yeah, the Bosch Magic is real. I remember Coach Fox when I first got here. He was telling me in the fall, and I was like, okay, I understand, and then I didn't really realize it until the spring came around. But the Bosch Magic is real, and there's nowhere else where I would want to play other than home, especially in super regionals.
Are you back in a realm of comfortability, knowing that it's just a 3-game series now, something that you guys did over and over again in the regular season?
Yeah, it's something we did a lot of all season. So it's just best 2 out of 3, and you got one opponent, so you focus on them all weekend, and the best team's gonna win.
Just speaking closer to Mike a little bit so that they can hear you.
Pour closer.
Sorry. They are on?
I don't think they're on, but I don't think on.
Yeah, they're just gotta be a little close. On paper, I know you guys have just talked about what you need to do, to beat Arkansas. On paper, you guys are very, very similar. I'm sure you guys have seen that. What do you think is something that you can capitalize on, or you guys think that you do better than they do?
I'm not sure if we are better at this specific thing or anything, but I think our entire season we've been focusing and hanging our hat on pitching and defense, and I think that's in the fundamentals of the game because, like we said earlier, they scored a lot of runs, and I don't know exactly how many errors, but there was a good amount of errors in that regional as well. Because I remember looking at some box scores, and they were higher up. So I think just sticking with the fundamental game, I'm making ground balls outs that are outs, and always you got to make a couple of spectacular plays like that the other night, to help us win and keep going.
Vance, I was wondering if your dad has talked to you at all about his time as a Tar Heel. I was looking back, and I believe Arkansas was the final team that he played against at UNC.
I did not know that. He didn't talk a whole lot about it. He just kind of emphasized it, the opportunity you have, and how fun it'll be. But at the end of the day, it's a different journey, different time. So he just always focused on putting your head down and working, and the results will lay out how they will.
For both you guys, you went 15-15. I think in the ACC, it's a good record in a tough league. You really seem to have caught fire winning the conference tournament and coming back to your regional after a loss. How do you think this team's playing right now, and kind of what's maybe been the difference in the postseason?
I think we've came together at the right time, especially after that Virginia series. Our backs were against the walls, and we had to make start winning games, or else our season was going to be over. So I thought we've kind of flipped the page a little bit, and we were playing with a chip on our shoulder, playing with intensity, and playing with confidence. So just continue doing that.
Mikey, you want to take that too?
Yeah, I mean, after the Virginia series, like you said, backs were against the wall, and Coach Forbes challenged us right after, like next Monday we got back, just treat every single game as a playoff game the rest of the year, because that's what we're gonna have to do to be able to be in the position we want to be in, and I think that's what's helped us a ton throughout that stretch. I mean, I think we were 8-13 in the ACC at one point, and we really came together and just didn't care about anything else but winning, and I think that's kind of how it molded us to where we are now.
And then a lot of times in the postseason, you know, a regional or a super regional, you might see a team you played earlier in the year, maybe you played the last couple of years. Arkansas and Carolina only played once in 1989 before you guys were born. What do you think about playing a team that's got a pretty good program, obviously, but it's never that Carolina hadn't played forever and only played once overall, and you guys obviously never played them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be fun. I didn't know that, like that they played once
In 1989 World Series, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's incredibly like cool. Like both two great programs, and it's gonna be a fun weekend for sure.
You got a thought on that, Mike?
Yeah, definitely cool. Hadn't played them a whole lot, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's just an opponent across the field from you, and you're just trying to win super.
Mikey, you were alluding to it a little bit when you're talking about some of Vance's heroics. Like, I mean, we've seen the plays in the outfield, the power, the speed. Is there anything that you've seen him do athletically that maybe hasn't happened out here, where you've been like, dear God, like, you know, that's pretty amazing?
I mean, like the kid's unbelievable. Like I would never say this to his face because I wouldn't want to get to him, but like he's the best baseball player I've ever seen in my life, and like I've been around the game for a pretty long time, almost 25 now. Like, I mean, I've seen a lot of good players, like a lot of guys in the big leagues right now that I played with or against, and I mean, he's got every single tool. It's like the definition of the 5-tool guy. So he's pretty exciting to watch and play it in that outfield next to him in the outfield. It's fun.
Yeah, when you're not running into him, right?
Yeah, that was not bad.
But seriously though, what has made you go wow? Like, you know, like, I mean, anything when you guys are goofing off away from here or anything, you know, like.
Yeah, I mean, that's what helps him so much is he's just always having fun, always smiling, always keeping people up in the locker room, and just no matter what, like he's just having fun playing the game. And I think the number one thing that I was like, wow, like this kid's special was the ACC tournament when NC State in the championship. He hit 2 homers. One was on, was it first pitch slider, curveball?
Yeah.
First pitch from the reliever that came in.
Yeah, first pitch, and he was sitting off speed, and he hit a fastball out pull side. I couldn't believe it. And then I think it was against Notre Dame or Virginia Tech where I hit a ground ball, and the shortstop like kicked it a little bit, and he was on second. He scored from second, and the ball never left the infield. I thought that was very impressive. I was like, I remember looking at Coach Holland, I was just like, this kid's special. Like, oh my goodness, how did he just score there? But yeah.
Mikey, you've obviously been on a tear here recently, winning tournament regional most outstanding player. What's been the key to the bottom of the lineup recently? Like, you've obviously led that charge. Tomas joined you on the all tournament team. Johnny's had a big swing at the at bat. Colby has gotten better on the plate a little bit recently. Just what's been the key to those guys? Like, we know what Vance can do, and Danny and Angel and Alberto and all of those guys, but just the back of the order, what's been the key there for y'all?
It's just kind of been everybody just trying to do their job, and I mean, I think the first couple games in the regional, minus Hofstra, I think, the top of the lineup wasn't producing as much, and that bottom of the lineup kind of picked us up, and like I think our lineup, how it's set right now, is very, very like, I would say like I'm kind of more like the second leadoff guy, and like I've been finding ways on base, and that's just been helping them a lot too. But just kind of everybody doing their job, and everybody bought into like the approach and just sticking with it. And we know it's baseball. Like everything's not going to go our way. Like, we're going to strike out. We're going to make errors sometimes. Like that's just how it goes. That's part of the game. But just sticking with it and knowing the guy behind us is going to be able to pick us up.
Mikey, what would you attribute your improvement this year at the plate? I mean, it seems like you didn't get a ton of appearances, you know, the past 2 seasons, a lot of at-bats, but what would you say is kind of been key to yours?
Well, yeah, I came in here and just starting at second base and just wasn't really getting it done with the bat, and then COVID happened, and then that whole like pause, I guess, on the season and everything, and then coming back next year and not really seeing the field much. I knew this year was my last year playing baseball, and I just every single day I woke up and like acted like I don't know what's gonna happen. Like I could, like another COVID thing could happen again. This was my last time playing baseball, so I just every single day I would want to get better at some aspect. And yeah, I wouldn't, like if I'm in the cages and like I had a bad round, like sometimes like it's good to just take a day off and swing in and get back after it the next day. But just enjoying every single moment. But even at practice, like nobody really wants to practice. Everybody wants to play games, right? But just enjoying the practice and knowing it's my last season playing baseball, like just having fun with it.
Vance, since the catch at the wall against Georgia to sort of save that game, what maybe is the most interesting or fun or best thing you've heard from somebody about that catch, like the reaction to it? Like, what all have you heard, and what all have you liked from people that have hit you up?
I don't really know. I mean, there was one thing, someone said Air Honeycutt, like Air Jordan. I mean, that's definitely not the right comp. Compare me to that guy, but that was pretty funny. But I don't know. I mean, it was just cool to kind of see those things, I guess.
If you had 24 home runs, that's a lot for a college player. What do you think's been the key to your power? And then Mikey, what have you thought about him hitting 41 dingers already?
You know, I would just say, you know, just staying with it like every day. Just kind of focus on the approach, the routine. You know, you're going to struggle, you're going to have success. Just trying to find that medium. And, you know, Coach Weirs does a good job with us about just helping our routine, just kind of staying bought in every single pitch, every single game. So, regardless of the outcome, just staying a level head.
As a freshman, did you surprise yourself having that many?
A little bit, yes, sir.
And Mikey, what do you thought about it and the freshman doing that?
Yeah, I mean it's incredible. Like I said, like my first year was the COVID year, so I played with Aaron Sabato, and he had a lot of home runs too and stuff like that. But I think it's incredible. The most incredible thing for me that I've seen, like with those home runs, is the at bats he has, like late in the game, or if like we're winning by 10, 12 runs, like he'll have an 8, 9 pitch at bat and end up walking. Like that's just sticking with the approach and not giving any at bats up. And I think Vance has done a really good job. You know, he has 24 home runs. He's not going up to the plate saying, "Oh, I'm going to hit a home run here." He's just going to try to hit something hard, and if it gets in the air, it has a shot. That's why his numbers are what they are.
Obviously, they've had your attention this week because you're playing them. Before this week, how aware were you of Arkansas's program? What did you know about them?
I mean, I knew they've had very successful program. Obviously, a lot of tradition. I remember watching them in high school. They were my second favorite team to watch. I used to always watch the highlights of their games and stuff. And watching them in Omaha was pretty cool. So I knew they had some tradition, just like us. So I guess that would just kind of be how I would know of them.
I would assume NC was your favorite.
For sure.
Okay, your thoughts.
Why was Arkansas your second favorite team?
I don't know. I liked their shortstop. They had Casey Martin. I liked watching them a
Yeah.
lot, so I just would kind of always turn them on.
Yeah, I mean, me and Danny Soretti, we've been rooming together ever since I got here, and after, whether it be a midweek game or a practice day, we always just turn on the TV, and then we always find ourselves watching Arkansas and a lot of other teams. If no one in the ACC is on, we always find ourselves watching Arkansas, and I think it's cool that we're finally playing against them. It's just funny because I mean, we've been watching them on TV for how long? I think I know 7 starters just from watching them on TV, which is kind of funny.
I assume Connor Nolan, number 13, is going to start for them. Have you guys watched a lot of video on him, or if you have any thoughts on Connor, just wonder what they would be.
Yeah, we watched some film, and then kind of turned the machines and just tried to imitate some of his pitches we think he's going to throw, and you know, just kind of sticking with that approach based on who's on the mound. So good arm. It's going to be a dogfight, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, got any thoughts on that, Mike?
Yeah, just kind of, you just kind of have to try to do our thing and just stay what we're doing and knowing like what situation we're in and trying to get our job done.
It's playing 11 a.m. I don't know. I bet you guys maybe the tournament maybe played an early game. Just wonder what you guys think about an 11 a.m. start.
I mean, I haven't played that early of a game since like high school with travel ball, I guess. But time of day doesn't really matter. You got one goal, so just get out there and get it done.
Yeah, I mean, personally, like, I kind of like it. Like, the night games, like, it's fun playing under the lights and all that, but I love just, like, the worst part about playing the night games is I wake up and I have all day and I'm just anxious to get out there and everything like that. Like, now I'm going to be able to wake up, get to the stadium, eat, and get ready to go, which I'm excited for that.
You guys get up at 6 for an 11 a.m. game? What time do you get up?
Right, 6:30, yeah, 6:30, between there. A lot easier than getting up for like a 6 a.m. lift though.
Is that when you guys do all your lifts that early in the morning?
In the fall, we do.
Yeah, I got you.
We play good? You good to see you?